is up, everybody? Garrett here at Born to Be Rad, and welcome to this live stream, this solo live stream, where I'm going to talk about something that I want to talk about for a while. But what really triggered this was the year 1 and 2 Scream Factory deep dive that I did with Deadpit. And I'll kind of explain that in here. I just want people to kind of start chiming in. I want people to kind of jump into the chat. Let me know who is here. I'm going to do my best to say what's up to everybody, answer every question I can. Tell me how you guys are doing tonight, and I will tell you exactly what is going to go on here tonight. No, brother, this is live, pal. We're live, pal. Yeah, so I wanted to make sure I was live in here because, I'm part of a Scream Factory collectors group on Facebook, and they actually kind of helped me out with this list. So I wanted to make sure to go live so I can kind of chit chat with some of those fellas in there that I've never talked to before. So to have other avid, collectors in this chat would be really cool, because I'd like to kind of get their take and input on a lot of the stuff that's going on right now with this out of print, titles, and, trying to maintain a collection, and also trying to, complete a collection when a lot of these titles now are out of print and on the secondary market going for quite a bit of coin. So I want to kind of deep dive on that. So guys, be chatty in here. I know we've got a couple people already checking it out. My man Piz Owl is here, and Deadpit, my dudes. So they are both in here. What is up, guys? If you haven't, go check out Piz Owl and Deadpit's YouTube channel. I do a lot of stuff with both of them, so definitely go check those guys out. And if it's your first time checking me out onto this live stream, talking a little out of print physical media, say what's up and let me know it's your first time checking this out. All right, so as we kind of get into what I'm doing here today, like I said, the reason this really triggered me to, kind of start with a video like this is when we were doing the year 1 and 2 Scream Factory, Shout Factory releases, talking about, the first year that Scream Factory came out and what a bang that was to the physical media market. And for us collectors that were collecting DVDs at that time and then recently jumping to Blu-rays, this was big for the horror community. And while we were doing those, I was kind of showcasing a lot of my titles that I had, which, believe it or not, year 1 and 2, I actually have every single title that was released by Scream Factory in years 1 and 2. If you want a little bit more on that, check out those videos. They're in my my video list, my library. I don't know what you want to call it, but they're there year 1 and 2 when I showcase every single release from those 2 years. And again, it was one of those things where I kind of had a deal with my local shop, and they basically got me everything that Scream Factory was putting out, and I got it at a little bit of a discounted rate just because I was buying so much at the time. And they were releasing boatloads of stuff in those first couple of years. And as we started progressing into years, the later years, I don't know, I haven't checked year 3 yet. We're going to do a show on that very, very soon, probably in September. It's going to be a big one. Year 3 is a big one, but I haven't checked to see if I own every release from year 3 yet. But I do know as the years start going on, I get a little bit more picky with the titles that I'm grabbing for multiple reasons. It was just very hard to keep up at the time. Also, things like re-releases on Blu-rays I already had, and I wasn't really sure if some of these titles were worth the re-release. So we will get into that in a deep dive for sure. But while we were talking about all this year 1 and 2 releases, a lot of people in the chat were chiming in, being like, I can't believe you have that. That's worth so much money. Can I buy that from you? Oh my God, I can't believe you own that. So then it kind of opened my eyes to, wow, a lot of these titles, rare and sought after, because I'm a collector, but I haven't really been in any kind of like game of like flipping or anything like that. So I didn't even realize a lot of these titles were very sought after and out of print until I really started to get a little more active in the Scream Factory group and really seeing that people are wanting these complete and in great condition and stuff like that. And yes, they certainly are out of print. So I asked that group to help me out finding the most sought after Scream Factory titles. And I was going to compile some of the stuff that I have and kind of deep dive and talk about each one here. So I do have a stack of stuff here, and I'll kind of go through each one, and you guys can kind of chime in, and I'll tell you a little bit about my history with the title, where I got it, what I think of it, is it worth the money it's going for? So I'm going to kind of do that here now. But before I do that, let me just look in the chat and say what's up to anybody who's chimed in during my little rant or discussion here. So Piz said Scream Factory came out of the gate on fire. It sure did. And I think that was a good thing at the time, and then a bad thing, because then when it started to, really get into the later years, they were starting to release titles, in my opinion, that were a little bit outside of what I kind of think Scream Factory was in the first couple of years. Caroline, what is up? Welcome. And again, if this is anybody's first time checking out one of my streams or videos, say that so then I can really make sure to shout you guys out. And I appreciate anybody checking this out now. Ken says he bought a bunch of Scream Factory blind buys back in the day, but then sold them off. Luckily, I didn't sell much of mine off. The only things I will say I did sell off were a lot of the steel books I ended up selling off because I didn't open them and I already kind of had them on regular releases. So I did sell those off. I have 2 left, which I can showcase. And if anybody is interested in them, I am definitely willing to part with them. So, just contact me via Instagram at Born to Be Rad, on Facebook or whatever, or even here, and let me know if you're interested. Really quick, I'll go through them. And that is Slumber Party Massacre. And I've got the lithograph with this, and Night of the Demons. So those are the only 2 I have left. I sold all the rest that I had, which I think I had all of them pretty much at one point. So those are long gone. The lithographs are long gone as well, except for the Slumber Party. That's the only one I have left on lithographs. I've sold a lot of the posters. I do have more posters I'm willing to part with. So if anybody's looking for specific Scream Factory posters, hit me up and let me know. I may have them and may be okay parting with them. Just let me know if you guys are looking for anything in particular. And the only other thing I did sell off was I sold all my Vincent Price volume 1, 2, and 3. I did sell those off, so I know that they are pretty limited now, so they are not going to be in my list here of stuff that I have because they are long gone as well. And I sold those off a while back, right when the Vincent Price, I think volume 2 really started to skyrocket. I think they had to pull it, so I kind of let mine go at that point. So let me see what we got here. Jim, what is up, man? I don't know how I say this. So how do I say this? Lope Key Vision Films. Hey, man, he did a little game I was doing over on my YouTube. So what's up, man? Welcome. So if you guys check that out, I've been doing a little game where I have you guys give me a title of a movie, of a horror movie, and I try to see if I have it in my collection. So if anybody wants to participate in that, go find that video and write in what you're looking for. We want to make sure I do not miss anybody. Let's see. Deadpit. I feel that Scream Factory collection editions aren't particularly movie fans, more collectors like trading cards. Just what I've seen online. Yeah. So, I mean, again, we've talked about this before. The boutique labels are really, in my opinion, bringing the physical media game like back to life. Like in a time where 2021, if you would have asked us years ago what would have been going on in physical media, everybody would have told you it would have been dead. And I think a lot of these things, Scream Factory being kind of the front runner of this, really, flipped the script when it came to physical media, especially in this little niche community and market that we're part of. So, things like Vinegar Syndrome, they're coming out of the gate with crazy releases of movies we've actually never heard of. So they're doing a great job, prettying all these things up and making great slip cases and stuff. And there's a whole market of people who are similar to the Scream Factory collectors, but for Vinegar Syndrome, paying big money for some of these out of print titles and slip covers. So again, I think a lot of these boutique labels have done wonders for, our community when it comes to more of like the horror-esque physical media. So yeah, definitely. I think it really is like, there's a lot of movies out there that are not that great, and people just want them just to complete collections. So it is kind of like, collecting cards or toys or whatever you guys are kind of into. Let me just get through. If I said hi to Jim, what's up, man? Caroline said, I picked up all my Scream Factory during the Summer of Fear sale about 7 years ago. Yeah, they had a great sale back in the day, but again, it's like anything else. It's as soon as things are gone, like they're wanted more. So I'm trying to see if I have anything here. I have these here. Let me know if these, anybody remembers these. So remember they were doing things for a while where they were giving out like coasters, and I have like a whole sheet of magnets. And that's another thing too. If anybody's looking for those magnets that they gave out, it might have been during Summer of Fear. Let me know. I have a whole sheet that I'm looking to sell. They're not even open. So if anybody really wants those, as a completist, let me know. I also have a Slumber Party Massacre pillowcase, which was very limited. That came out with the Slumber Party Massacre pre-order for the collection way back in the day. So I do have that available as well that I would definitely part with if anybody needs it to complete a collection. Pizowl said, I think I bought pretty much everything in year one, but yeah, things slowed down a bit. I'm still picking up a good amount of their releases every year. Yeah, same. I've really slowed down a little bit, but yeah, like when there's sales, like I'll grab stuff that I haven't, that I may have missed. I talk about that in some of my monthly pickup videos because there was a lot of sales last month, and I did grab some things that I just kind of passed by. The problem is like anything else now, is that the slip covers, they go out of print very quickly. So if you don't hustle on those, you're going to get it without, and then that becomes a whole nother game in itself. I'm not a huge slipcover craze like fan. Like I need slipcovers, but I will say this is when it comes to Scream Factory, I kind of do need the slipcovers because that differentiates to me the collector's editions from the not collector's editions. So far, every collector's edition I have has the slip. So going forward, it's almost like if there's a collector's edition I want, like I need to pull the trigger early, because if I don't get that slip on like one collector's edition, to me, it's like not even worth having at that point. But then I go back and forth and I think to myself, wow, like how much of a market if I sold all my slips, and then it actually would still look pretty nice with every edition, just a regular case, like on the shelf, like everything would be aesthetically fluent. So, I go back and forth about it, so it can kind of go either way. So it's either I don't have any or I have to have all. So that's just my mindset when it comes to being a collector, especially in this kind of niche here. What's up, man? Vanderho, is this your first time here? What is up? Yeah, so Piz said that he has those coasters as well and magnets. Yeah, man, those were a big thing back then. I don't know if they did anything else special at that time when it came to those things. It says here, who is this? So Lope Key, I hope I say this right. Return of the Living Dead and Sleepaway Camps. Yep. So I'm going to start getting into some of this stuff. John, what's up? John is in the house. Just got Vagrant. Yeah. Great movie. Yeah. It wouldn't be hard to sell the slips. You look at anything right now, like you go on eBay, you type in slip covers, Vinegar Syndrome, Severin, Scream Factory, like they're selling for as much as the disc would sell. So that you're at least going to be able to get $20 more or less for them. So, yeah. So, I mean, if you're not a slip guy at all, it might be worth, getting a little extra money to then maybe buy more editions if it's not something you care so much about. So, it's crazy. You could go either way. And I kind of fight myself on it because I'm not really a slip guy. Like not all my Vinegar Syndromes have slips and I'm perfectly fine with that. None of all my Severins have slips and I'm perfectly fine with that. I usually take my slips off like any regular kind of release that's not boutique and I toss them away. So like I toss them in a box or something. So slips to me are not a big deal, but for some reason I think, like I said, the Scream Factory ones, they're the only ones that kind of mean something to me. Not that they're the best looking or anything like that. It's more just for the collector mentality that I have or aesthetics or stuff like that. So definitely. Lepke. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for saying it. Appreciate that. Oh yeah. So Caroline said she sold her Day of the Dead slip for $80. So that's pretty good. That'll get you a couple editions. So, I mean, I could sell my whole slip collection over here and probably complete the whole Scream Factory line if I wanted to. But yeah, let's get to it. So what I'll do is I'll start with just like the standard editions first, and then we'll go into the collector's editions. Now, these are some of the ones that I kind of searched eBay and saw that they were going for a little bit of a higher price. And these are also ones that people in the Facebook group told me were a little bit sought after. So again, let's start this out. So the first one is a great movie, and it's Lady in White. So this was an awesome movie. Now, I had this on DVD twice. You had like the regular edition. I think they came out with like a director's cut. So I had this twice. So it was awesome to kind of see that this edition here had both cuts on it. So my thing with this is I do not know why this is not a collector's edition. I mean, you've got a director's and theatrical cut on here. You've got a bunch of special features. Why isn't this a collector's edition? That always kind of bothered me, because even people I think it is, because they've asked me like, oh, do you have the Lady in White slip? It's not a collector's edition. There's no slip. So that's what's kind of crazy about this edition, but I guess it's pretty sought after now, and people are really looking for it. So if you find that one out in the wild, or you don't have it and you're thinking about trying to pick it up, definitely grab it, because it's a great movie. And I'll even say here, like if I pick up some that are out of print and I don't think it's that great, like I'll tell you guys, but Lady in White is definitely a must if you guys do not have that. I don't really know exactly what it's going for. I do know that I think, I don't know, was it Wes? Did you find this at a used store recently? I think you may have. Yeah, it is super creepy. It's effective. It's kind of one of those great movie to watch around Halloween. It was kind of one of those Halloween movies that I saw at a younger age. So to me, it was almost like a gateway movie to the horror genre. And I still think it kind of works really well like that. So if you haven't seen Lady in White, check it. Really quick, Jim, what's up, man? What's the most you paid for an out-of-print Scream Factory Blue? I just bought a brand new copy of Food of the Gods Frogs for $85. Honestly, I will tell you right now, I have not bought anything above retail. And the reason is because I started so early. So everything that's really out of print now, more or less, I bought it when it came out. So I haven't had to do that yet at all. So Food of the God and Frogs, I don't have that here with me, but I do have it back there on the shelf. I didn't realize that was an out of print title. So yeah, so when it comes to me paying for out of print stuff, I really haven't had to pay above retail when it comes to Scream Factory. And to be honest, when it comes to most things that are out, I haven't done that. I've either bought it right away before it went out of print, or I'm just trying to think if there's anything off the top of my head, but definitely nothing from Scream Factory. I will tell you there is one that I passed on that I do want to get, and I know I'm probably going to have to pay higher than retail if I want the slip, and that's House on Haunted Hill. I thought I had it, and then I was looking around and I didn't see it, so I may have to try to get that one, but I think I can get that for about maybe around like 40. So it's not too bad. It's not the greatest movie either, but I did like it a lot when I saw it in theaters back in the day. And I do own it on DVD, I think in like a box set with like the second one or something. But if I was to get one, that's the first one that comes to mind that I might try to track down. But it's not a must for me. Yeah, I checked FYE. They have it, but no slip with it. But yeah, that's another place to look. So FYE is like the only place around me that carries Scream Factory stuff. So that's also a place to look because they also sell used, and their prices are a little bit higher than retail. But that's the only place that I think you can score some stuff. All right, so the next one is actually one that recently got released, and it was one of their like 1 of 1,000 releases, and it's a movie that I think is really good. And if you have it, I mean, at this point it's sold out. So if you're gonna get it, you're gonna have to go on secondary market, and that is Twice Dead. This is a cool one, so I wanted to make sure to definitely pick this up, and I actually did sell. I had this on a double pack on DVD with The Evil, I think, so I did get rid of that. And that pretty much paid for this anyways. So, yeah, so that's Twice Dead. Cool movie. So definitely check that one out. And if you don't care too much about it and you just want it, you might be able to get the double pack with the Evil cheaper than this. So it is only DVD, but if that matters to you or not. But Twice Dead, that's another one that's pretty cool. All right, so we've got the next one, which is The Horror Show. I'm not exactly sure how much this goes for, but I think it is out of print. This also is known as House 3, believe it or not. So cool movie here. So, but if you have like the box set of House from Arrow, it's not even worth getting that. You know, it's not worth it. At that point, it's just a different title, but same movie. But yeah, The Horror Show, if anybody knows kind of what's that's going for, let me know. But I do know that it's out of print. So, yeah, so he said he paid over 60 for Twice Dead. Oh, sorry. So Lepke said something here. Yeah, you know what? That's actually not a bad idea, Lepke. He said that, you know, he wishes that they would just sell slips, you know, on like Christmas or something like that for anybody who may have missed some old ones. Yeah, that would, I mean, that's not a no-brainer from even just a business decision, I think, for them. I mean, how much does it really cost for them to make slips? They sell them for like 10 to 15 bucks a piece. Like, people are going to buy them. And the thing is, too, with Scream Factory, like, their slips aren't even as nice as Vinegar Syndromes. They're just basically cardboard or paper, right? Vinegar Syndromes are actually like hard boxes. And I do think that Scream Factory is going to start changing them over to that with certain editions. I think like their 4Ks, like the Halloween stuff, I think is going to be in more of those like, I don't know what they're called. They get a different name, like slip box or something like that. So I think they're going to start changing over to those. I just hope they don't do that to the collector's edition Blu-rays, because again, at that point, I might just be like, I'm going to sell everything because it's not going to aesthetically look right. All right. So the next one was one that I don't remember a lot about. I probably only seen it once, but this was one of the titles during our live stream talking about Scream Factory Year 2. I think it was Year 2 that people were like, oh, you have that? That's rare. And that's Deadly Eyes. So Deadly Eyes, just the regular standard edition. I don't remember with this one too much. I think it is like about rats or something like that. So let me see. I thought I remember it being pretty good, but I just don't recall it because it's been a while since I've seen it. So yeah, so that's Deadly Eyes on Blu-ray. I'm just gonna get to these comments here. Why do you think they don't reprint a lot of these after a while? They don't make money. I think they don't reprint a lot of these because I honestly think that a lot of the times they lose the license. So they can't, I guess. That's the only thing I'm thinking, is that maybe they can't. Because the ones they still have licenses for, they're pounding them out. Like Prince of Darkness, They Live, like Halloween. Like, trust me, if they have the license, these things are most of them are gonna be re-released. And that's another thing too. I mean, it's part of me is kind of like, if you're going to get rid of these, you better do it now, because if these get released in 4K, it's going to devalue these. So the market for a lot of these is really, you know, at its peak right now, as 4K is starting to really take over. The only downside is if 4K, just for whatever reason, doesn't become the next thing and it stays at Blu-ray, and then you get these, you sell these off, and then that's all that they have. I mean, that's what's tough, right? And speaking of that, I'll talk about the next one, which, you know, I contemplate all the time, like, it's gonna re-released. I've got multiple versions of this movie. You know, is it worth just getting the money at this point? Like, it's tough, man. So that is the big one. This is big for people. It's the Slumber Party Massacre 2 and 3 Blue. This is one of the big ones. I've seen this sell for over $200 sold listings on eBay. It's definitely a rare one. I know a lot of people want that one. It's cool. I mean, again, I owned these two movies another 2 times on DVD. So, you know, for me to get $250 for this to go use on something else, like, I mean, it's really a no-brainer, right? Especially if this thing gets re-released, which because it's so wanted, I can see it getting re-released unless there's some kind of issues with, you know, the rights or anything like that. But as far as I know, I don't think there is. But yeah, let me just check the comments here if anybody has anything to say that they want to say about Slumber Party Massacre 2 and 3. So yeah, so you saying, Vanderhoff, are you saying that you bought this during the original pre-order? Or are you saying that you pre-ordered like another edition coming out? Because yeah, I knew I wanted this, especially to complete the collection on Blu-ray. So I pre-ordered this as soon as it was announced as well. Scott, what's up, man? Piz is painting the masks. Yeah, so we'll move on. I got quite a few people watching, so come say what's up, peeps. Come say what is up. There's quite a few people checking this out. I'd love to see who it is, so come say hi. And again, if this is your first time checking out my stream or any of my videos, come say what's up and tell me it's your first time here. Yeah, so Vanderhoff said he got the original on pre-order. So is this what got a lot of people to jump into the room here? Me showing this? Because I know a lot of people want it. Mike, what's up, man? Yeah, so again, I have that as well, that complete collection on DVD. It's actually a really nice collection with all 3 Slumber Party Massacres in there. Like I was just saying, I pre-ordered that collection way back in the day, and it came with like a pillowcase, like a Slumber Party Massacre pillowcase, which I do still own. And if anybody wants to complete a collection, you know, I'm willing to part with it if they want. So if that's something you're looking for, let me know. Another one, I guess this is another real big title that people really, really are clamoring for, and that is Invaders from Mars, which is another really good movie. So if you do not have this, I recommend, again, it's out of print, trying to hunt it down. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of the DVD. Like, I had it. I'm not sure if I still have it or not, because even the DVD would still go for a pretty good amount if you were to sell that off. So I'm not sure if I still have that or not. I don't remember, but that's another good release, is Invaders from Mars. So, and it's a real good movie too. So if you guys haven't seen this one, it's another one that I know people are really looking for and really want in their collection here. Yeah, so Greg, I'm glad you brought that up, because as I was doing some of my own research, I've actually found that Species 2 is going for big money. And you know what? I do not own that on Blu-ray. I own Species 1, a collector's edition, and at the time I said to myself, I'm not going to get a collector's edition of part 1 and then have the other 2 like non-collector's edition. Like 2 and 3 aren't even that good anyways. So like, to me, I have the DVD, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to pass on that, because aesthetically, like I said, it wouldn't look good on the shelf with like one over here in a slipcover, the other one's over here. So I passed on 2. And to be honest, like, it's going for big money. Do I think it's worth it? Is it worth that much money? No. So it's not even on my radar. I have the DVD. I'm fine with that. I do not need Species 2 unless I was like a super completist and basically had like every edition except that one. Like, then I would have to get it. But, you know, I'm missing quite a few, especially in more of the recent years. So to me, Species 2 is not anything I need. DVD of Carnosaur. That is funny, because I just found that at a Goodwill and I picked it up because I didn't own Carnosaur actually on anything. So I just bought that DVD recently. It may have a Blu-ray, I'm not sure, but I didn't own Carnosaur, but I did recently pick it up. Yeah, so anything Slumber Party Massacre 2 and 3 is valuable right now. So if you have it, either hang on to it. If you've got multiple editions of that, it might be a good time to let one go. Like I said, I've got 3 editions, 2 on DVD, a single one on DVD, singles of each. I've got the triple pack from Shout, and then I have this one. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anybody who's chiming in. Oh yeah, so Greg, so you said Invaders from Mars. So that was Anchor Bay. Okay. All right, the next one. I don't remember a lot about this movie. I probably only watched it once when I bought it. Let me know what you guys think, but I think this is out of print as well. And this is Robot Jocks, another standard edition from Scream Factory that I think is long out of print now. John, so this is off topic. Here's a retro style PC game called Babysitter's Bloodbath. It's a slumber party, massacre, or Halloween. N64 style graphics. It used to be free. Is it new? Like newer? Because I'm definitely interested in that. I have Night Trap on PlayStation or whatever when they released that in a physical edition, and I always thought that was kind of cheesy but cool. And it was always one of those games that when I was a kid I was never allowed to get, nor did I have Sega CD anyways, so it didn't matter. But yeah, I'm always down for cool games like that. The Sorority House Massacre double feature on DVD is worth a lot. Yes, I do own all of those as well on DVD from those original releases. I do have part 1 on Blu-ray from Scorpion. But yeah, I don't think 2 and 3 of Sorority House Massacre have been released other than those original DVDs from, you guys help me out, it's that Corman label or whatever that released all that stuff. All right, we'll get moving on here. This is another one that I think Wes recently got pretty cheap, and I think it is out of print now. And this is Robert Englund, Phantom of the Opera. And I will tell you right now, I've never seen it. So I can't tell you anything about it. I bought it because I did not own it. I didn't even own it on DVD. And I was like, I'm going to check it out, but I haven't watched it yet. So I can't tell you if this is good or worth the price of what it's going for now. But yeah, Phantom of the Opera with Robert Englund. It's Concord. Yeah, thank you, Piz. It's Concord. Actually, is it New Horizon? I don't know. It's not canon, I don't think. I think it's Concord, I believe. I could be wrong. It's like almost like a little like rainbow type logo. I forget. It's one of those two though. They released. I have like Slumber Party Massacre 1, 2, 3, Sorority House Massacre 1, 2, 3 or whatever, and then I have like that other one there, Live or Die or whatever it's called. I have like that Hard to Die or whatever. They're all on the same label. Concord. Thanks, Allie. All right, so we'll move on here from that Phantom of the Opera. I think it recently just went out of print, so you might still be able to find it for a good price. Here's another one, which is a really good movie, and I had no idea that it was out of print. And I think the DVD even goes for quite a bit. And I love this movie. I am a big fan of this. Again, this is another one where I think the star of this doesn't get enough appreciation, and it's kind of she's not doing much anymore when it comes to films or anything like that, but I always thought she was pretty good. And that's Jenny Wright in I, Madman. Look at that cover. I like this movie. I don't really get anybody I don't hear many people talk about this that much, but I always liked that one. And I had the DVD as well. I think like MGM did it or something like that. And yeah, so that's another one I think is pretty valuable from Scream Factory. So I would definitely recommend I, Madman if you haven't seen it. But again, I don't know if it's easier to find it on DVD at this point than Blu-ray. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I, Madman. The next one is a fan favorite. And listen, these are going to get re-released from somebody. So if you do not own this, you could get the DVD if you really want it so bad. I mean, I probably have the DVDs I'm willing to sell, but hold your horses. It'll come back out. And that is Ghoulies 1 and 2 double feature. Yeah, I would say, listen, like, unless you really need this edition, I'd wait, to be honest, because that we're going to get Ghoulies again. Somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to do a big box. It's going to happen. Yes, so I love Punkron. What is up? Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat here. I'm Admin was an MGM Midnight Movie. Yeah, that was a great line. And it's funny because a lot of these Scream Factory titles, especially back then, they've done a lot from that line. So if you had a lot of those MGM Midnight Movies, you're going to see a lot of their titles ported over to Scream Factory. They've done a lot of the Burning and Dolls, and they did a ton. I think the Frogs and War of the Gods or whatever, that was all the same thing. All right, so Greg, thank you for saying that, because I have both of them over there and I can go get them, but I didn't bring them up to the table here, and that is Leviathan and From Beyond. I didn't realize From Beyond was sought after. Actually, you know what? I actually have a From Beyond Scream Factory poster signed by Barbara Crampton. The Scream Factory collectors out here right now that would want that and say, oh my God, that'd be so killer to have. Message me. It'd be something I'm willing to part with. It's a signed Scream Factory poster with that artwork signed by Barbara Crampton. And I don't think it's to me, so it's not personalized. I do not think. So if anybody clamor for something like that, I'd be willing to part with it. Yeah. So, a great slipcover on From Beyond. I wish I brought that up here. I can probably go grab it, but it's all right. I got a lot of stuff here. All right. So that was pretty much it when it comes to more of the standard releases that I brought to the table here that I wanted to kind of talk about and see if anybody had something they wanted to say about them. But those are the ones that I found online that were really going for, some decent amount of money and that were pretty sought after. So if I missed any, feel free to chime in with them here, and I will let you guys know if I have them, what I think of them, and maybe I just forgot to bring them up here. All right, let me see what we got. So, oh, that's cool, Lepke. So he's got the Good Guy Child's Play poster that they did, signed by the cast. That's cool, man. That's a cool one. Is it the yellow poster or the artwork one? Because they did do the doubles. Yeah, I'm competing with AEW right now. Don't care. I don't watch it. Yeah, I guess I'm doing pretty good for competing with AEW, to be honest. So yeah, anyhow, the next one's a big one. And I'm sure I'm going to get a couple comments in here from certain people. And we'll talk more about this edition. If you save, subscribe, like, comment this video. So subscribe, hit the little notification, because when we get to Scream Factory Year 3, which is a big one, we're going to dive really deep into this next one I'm going to show, because this was a real cool addition, and it's the best addition this movie's ever gotten, in my opinion. But at the same time, you guys let me know, is it not complete? Is there a different cut? And that is the Nightbreed box. This was very different for them at the time. This came out in Year 3. Beautiful. It's in that hard box, kind of what Vinegar Syndrome does with their releases. You've got 2 editions in here, 2 cuts, the theatrical and directors. But what's interesting is this doesn't have the real Cabal cut. It's got a director's cut, but the Cabal cut is not one of these, right? You guys let me know, because I do remember that they came out with a different edition, not Scream Factory, but other people came out with the Cabal cut going for big money because they were claiming that wasn't on this edition. And what I will say about this is a super nice edition. It's numbered for 10,000. So I've got 1950 out of 10,000 of these. So one of my favorite editions from Scream Factory as far as just the aesthetic of it. I mean, the artwork is amazing, and I will give props to Pizow if he's still watching, because he's got this poster signed by Clive Barker, and it was always a piece in his collection that I was kind of a little jealous, a little envious over. I would have loved to get that signed. Actually, it's in like the perfect spot. It's at the bottom. It pops. It looks awesome. And after he got that signed, I said to myself, I want to do that. And Clive Barker was going to a Monster Mania that I was attending, and then he canceled for medical reasons at the last minute, and I was kind of bummed out. So I still have that poster in hopes that, you know, someday that can happen. But as the years and years go on, the less and less, you know, that's probably going to be a possibility. So yeah, super cool edition. Love the artwork on there. I'm a big purple guy, so like the purple and yellow just really pops for me. What do you guys think about that edition? I'm going to have to move up here because I'm missing a lot of stuff. Nice, Lepke, the yellow Scream poster. Wow. So Travis, what's up, man? He just said that he sold Lake Placid and body bags for $60 a piece. I did not cover those, and you know what? I don't think I brought any of these to the table. I do own both of them with slips. Body bags, if you watch our year 2, we talk about it. And Lake Placid as well. If you check out that video, year 2 Scream Factory, we go through it. I show those 2 editions off. That's great, though. I mean, as great as far as if you don't care about them to get $60 a piece. I mean, the Deadpit boys love Scream Factory. Yeah, they have a love-hate relationship with them, which I can totally understand. You know. Yeah, so Deadpit says Clive is in poor health. I know, and that's why I kind of feel like he's been in poor health for a while. So that's why I kind of feel like, you know, it's probably not going to happen to get that poster signed from him. So at this point, I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll get the main character done on the poster because that might be a little easier. Yeah, Greg. So I don't know. Was Clive? You know what, Piz? I think Clive was booked for a con this year. I don't know which one though. I would love to find out because if he's still attending, I would love to send this off for somebody to get it signed for me. Allie, nice. That's a really good thing. Which DVDs have not made it to Blue yet? You know what? Go check out an old video of mine where I talk about titles that have not made the jump. And also Pizzal and I did one on his channel talking about the same thing. We did like a part 2. So go check those out. We talk about movies that need upgrades. So though you can find that my original video in my videos, and you can go to Piz's channel and he will have that one there as well of the part 2. Nice, Greg. Nice. To get Clive's autograph, you know, to have that in your collection is a cool piece. So there's the love-hate relationship that Deadpit has with Scream Factory. He says he likes a lot of Scream Factory stuff, aside from the ones that don't need replacement discs, which again, that's another whole issue in itself, is that sometimes I feel like, are they rushed? Are they trying to keep up with other companies and just rushing things? It's hard to say. Yeah, Scott, what's up, man? So yeah, Alligator would be a great release. I actually, speaking of that, I think Piz and I talk about that on that movies that need upgrades as well. All right, so we're gonna move on to the collector's editions now of the ones that I brought to the table that I have found and researched and people have told me are ones that people are really looking for. And I think based on what you guys are saying here, there's a couple that I don't have here that are in that shelf back there. There's probably not much I don't own. I think the only ones is Species 2. And like I said, I sold off my Vincent Price stuff. So between those two, I pretty much think I have most of the really sought after ones just because I did start early and grab a lot of this stuff. And that was kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video, because I knew I had them to talk about. But let's just get this one out of the way just because it's probably the most expensive one. And that's the Halloween set. You know, this I think shocked people. Such a beautiful set. I mean, I don't know how they're going to top this set, to be honest. I know it's coming. And that's why I've been very hesitant about upgrading to the 4Ks, because it's like, imagine upgrading to those 4Ks, spending as much as you did on this whole box set for just 1 through 5, and then them announcing a 4K box in 2022 or something. Like, man, I own these so many times. I don't know if it's worth it for me to get those 4Ks. To be honest, there's not enough meat on the bone unless they come out and talk about, new extras, or maybe they already have and I missed it. I've bought 3 so far. I just bought part 3, and that's only one I think I'm going to get. I have one on 4K twice already with a steelbook and the regular edition. Part 2 is probably the only other one I would consider because I love part 2. I know people out there, I've heard some people say they don't like part 2, and man, I think it's such a perfect sequel, to be honest. Part 3 is a must for me. Part 4 and 5, nah. Not a big fan of 4 and 5, to be honest. I think I could probably try to rewatch them because the atmosphere is cool, but I just never got into them. Let me see what we got here. So Allie says, will we ever get an official Romero box set and a Gates of Hell set on Blu-ray? There's none. I don't know. I feel like there might be. What box are we talking about for Romero? Just all of his films? Because between everybody, most of his stuff has been released on Blue. But yeah, if anybody knows if the new 4Ks have been announced with some new features that this box set doesn't have that might be worth upgrading, let me know. Yeah, Lepke. I sold that lithograph that came with this box set many, many years ago. I'm just trying to catch up, guys. Sorry. So Punk Ron says Cliff from Scream Factory was on a podcast a month ago or so, and he said Halloween 4Ks have a bunch of new extras that he will reveal sometime this month. I'd love to hear him because especially 4 and 5, like there's not enough there. And we've talked about this before. You jump from DVD to Blu-ray and there's a huge difference in quality. You jump from Blu-ray to 4K, and honestly, in my opinion, there's not that big of a jump. So for me to spend another, I think they're like $40 a piece, like another $80 on 4 and 5, which are like mediocre at best, for a little bit of quality improvement, in my opinion, not worth it. I'm not that crazy of a completist anymore when it comes to certain things. So I will definitely pass unless there's some more stuff on there that's going to reel me in. So it's open-ended for me right now. Yeah, Mike. So Crocodile 1 and 2 is released by Severin. All right. So let's start up. So let me know about this one. It's a cool movie. I think it's getting re-released by another company right now, and that's Dog Soldiers. I think this is coming out 4K. Is it from Scream, or did someone else announce this 4K? Dog Soldiers. I remember seeing that for the first time back in the day when I got the DVD, and I always thought it was a pretty cool movie. I've probably only seen it maybe twice in my life, so it might be another one I might have to go back and revisit. I remember liking it, but again, I can't really get into a ton of details about it because I don't remember it like the back of my hand. All right, so Second Sight Films is doing Dog Soldiers. Okay, in 4K. All right, so yeah, so I mean, if you need this, I would say just buy the 4K at this point, unless you're a completist. So yeah, they're talking about the Halloween 4Ks. Like, what could they add? Good question, because if there's more, like, why wouldn't they have been added the first time, right? Do they purposely hold things back, knowing that they're going to re-release these things? There is some footage out there that they could show, but we've heard that it's very slim chance that that's going to come out. All right, the next one, I just grabbed this before I went on air because I was kind of scrolling through eBay and I saw that this was going for a pretty penny and didn't realize how much it was worth. And I don't know if it's because of the slip. I'm not even sure which slip I have on this. I sold a bunch of extra slips, or I might still have some. But a couple times Scream Factory did like a double slip. Like if you pre-ordered it, you got 2 slips. And I don't know if this is the regular one or the variant or the like the special one. I forget, but this is the one I like best. So I put this one on here. So this was going for a lot. I don't know if I have the other slip anymore. I did sell a bag of Scream Factory alternate slips at one point, and I did keep a few too. So I'm not sure if that made the cut or not. But let me know, guys, about Carrie. Is that the regular slip cover, or is that like the extra one that you got when you bought it? Yeah, so the next one is 2. Again, I saw these online tonight. And it said that they were pretty pricey on eBay. I was looking at sold listings. And I didn't realize that they were going for a lot. Maybe it's just because they have the slips, but man, these look good together or what? Poltergeist 2 and 3. Get out of the way here. Great artwork here. I mean, beautiful artwork on this. So yeah, they went for quite a bit of money as like a package deal, like with slips. Both of them, I think it went for like close to $200. So yeah, I wasn't aware that those were sought after, but when I saw that they were in a sold listings for quite a bit of money, I threw them in this pile over here. Yeah, so Piz says the Poltergeist sequels are pretty big money. And you know what? To be honest, the artwork is what sold me on these, because when these came out, I wasn't a completist anymore with Scream Factory, but the artwork looked so good and they looked so cool together that I upgraded, because I did already own 2 and 3 on Blu-ray. And that's another thing too. There's a couple editions out there, and I can name 2 off the bat that I did not jump to with Scream Factory, because I'm like, I have these on Blu-ray. They're good movies, but to me, it wasn't really worth the jump. And that was, it was The Strangers was the first one. So I didn't make the jump because I did own the Blu-ray, which looked fantastic. And again, my crazy mind was like, well, if part 2 is in this DVD shelf and all my Scream Factory stuff is over here, like I want 1 and 2 to be together. So to me, I didn't buy Strangers, and I have no intention to buy it. If I find it somewhere cheap, like randomly used, maybe I'll get it. But I'm cool without having it. And the other one was what was the other one there? Oh my God, I'm good. I'm tongue tied here. The Raimi one that was relatively new. I already had the Blu-ray, so I'm not even gonna say upgrade. I didn't replace, right? So I didn't do that one. It is a good movie, but it wasn't worth me to do that. Sorry, I'm scrolling through all this now. Drag Me to Hell. Thank you. Yes. Drag Me to Hell was the other one that I didn't upgrade or replace, because to me it's a great movie, but you know, it wasn't something I needed to buy again. Stuntman Mark, welcome, man. He says, looking forward to the Second Sight 4K release of The Guest. Such an underrated Halloween type movie. Love the music. Yes. That was another blind buy for me back in the day, was The Guest. And man, I was blown away by it. Music, the neons, the character. I loved The Guest. Am I going to upgrade to 4K? I don't know. I think it's going to look great. Don't get me wrong. But again, I like I'm more into like older movies upgraded, because it's such a difference. Like I think about my Blu-ray and the 4K, and I'm like, it's not going to be a huge difference, but I will tell you this, they may get me to upgrade if, or based on the packaging for The Guest, because honestly, like the packaging for the Blu-ray, like what a crappy cover. I hated that cover. It didn't do the movie justice at all. So if they come out with a nice edition, some special features, maybe have a cool artwork in it, like, yeah, I'll probably upgrade. But if not, maybe probably not. But again, I really just think it depends on features and presentation for me on that one. Let me see. All right, so Deadpit. Here is a collector's edition I did not buy. I hated this movie. I have it on DVD, and that's where it's going to stay. I don't need an upgrade on this. Green Inferno, yes, they did a collector's edition. Don't know why. They can't do a collector's edition of Lady in White, but Green Inferno gets one. Garbage. I did not buy it. Don't care about it. Like I said, I'm not a completist anymore with this stuff. So if I don't love it or even like it a lot, I'm not going to get it. So Green Inferno, no way. Not doing it. Yeah, I would say Vanderhoff. So I would say get the guest if you don't own it, for sure. Your Next. Love Your Next. Your Next is fantastic as well. That's another one, though. Like, I can see Scream Factory doing a Your Next collector's edition. Like, I love it, but, you know, is it going to be a huge difference if they ever did something like that? Yeah, man, the American Psycho Steelbook looks sick. Sadly, I already bought the 4K, so I guess I'm going to have to replace because it does look pretty sick. Yeah, I can imagine the sale on the Green Inferno Blu-ray were not good. I can imagine. Yeah, Deadpit, the American Psycho looks fantastic. All right, let's move on. Great movie, Manhunter. Prequel to Silence of the Lambs, or you can say it's basically Red Dragon. Ripped it. Awesome movie. I know this is one that people want. I don't know if they want it just for the slip or the whole thing's out of print, but that was a big money one as well on eBay. Yeah, so what do you guys think of Manhunter? If you do not have that or have never seen it, it's a really good movie. So I would definitely track it down. If not this edition, there's other editions out there that I would definitely check out. Mike, I know, I hear you. Why would anybody want Green Inferno on anything? Good question. Like I said before, if you're not subscribed to this channel, subscribe and hit the notification, because another thing that I do with Wes is we go through different directors' libraries and talk about each movie. And Eli Roth is something that we're kind of working on for probably October. So definitely check it out, and we'll deep dive into that and our thoughts on all the stuff that he had to do with. All right, so we're gonna move on. I'm just reading the comments. All right, here's one that I got. I think I got this like at a sale, maybe not the last sale, but maybe a sale on Amazon like last year. It's actually a movie, to be quite honest, that I don't care for too much. And the only reason I bought it was because I know a lot of people that I'm going to say respect, right? Like a lot of friends of mine that love this movie, that give it a lot of praise. And I saw it one time, I think, in the theater, and I didn't like it at all. Never owned it on DVD. I purposely never bought it because I was like, I hate that movie. But then when it came out on a collector's edition, I said, you know what? Let me give it another chance, and it will look really good on Blu-ray because it's aesthetically very nice. I watched it and I kind of was like in and out of it. Like, I'm like, I just don't really understand the love here. And it's, to me, I'm going to say it's more current. A lot of you guys are like, it's not current. It came out 15, 20 years ago. But for me, it seems very current. But I guess now it's sought after, I think. And let me know what you guys think of Silent Hill. So again, not really my style of a movie. I'll keep it because this is the only edition I own. And I have the slipcover, and I do think it's something that people want. That's pretty sought after. Could I part ways with it for the right price? I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, I don't love it at all. But I'm going to probably just hang on to it because I don't own it in any other format. So cool. Let me know what you guys think of that. I know a lot of people like it. I'm probably in the minority of the people who don't care for it too much. Pizzal says the Roth show. You'd be surprised how that's gonna go. We might have different opinions on certain things, but we'll see. Yeah, a lot of people still talking about Manhunter. Yeah, Anchor Bay did real good stuff with Manhunter. They did the clamshell VHS. They did that thick DVD box. Manhunter is gotten some good treatment. Yeah, so I JS, what's up, man? I don't know if I said hi to you already. Stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. So yeah, let's move on here. We talked about this one on our year one Scream Factory. This is an old one from them. It even has like that blue top, which in my opinion, I saw on the Facebook group people asking about that. I don't like it. I'd rather have it clean and flush. Slip covers, in my opinion, shouldn't have the little blue strip on the top. I just think that kind of looks a little bit silly. But their early stuff did, and that is Prison. We kind of bashed this cover art. If you check out our year one Scream Factory video, we bashed this cover art. It was not one of the better ones. And the movie, I don't know. Again, I haven't seen it enough to really critique it. It's not memorable to me, so put it that way. I've probably only seen it twice in my life. Yeah, so Prison. So I guess that one, maybe it's that with the slip, but I saw that was going for a decent amount online. To me, unless you're a completist, I don't think it's anything really gung-ho to go after. Besides the fact that it's an early Scream title, and I know the earlier ones are the ones that are a little more sought after. But yeah, this next one, I actually did bring it to the table. I know somebody mentioned it earlier. If it was you, let me know. But that is From Beyond. I didn't think I brought it over, but I did. Killer artwork here. Like I said, for anybody checking this out, I actually have this poster that I got with this edition signed by Barbara Crampton. It's very cool. And it is something that I'm, willing to part with if anybody is a huge Barbara Crampton fan and loves Scream Factory and really wants that for their movie room or collection. Hit me up on Instagram at Born to Be Rad or here, or even in the Scream Factory Facebook group if you're in there. Let me just make sure I am not losing anybody here or losing any comments, and I'm missing. Okay. All right. So the next one is a year two, I think, or maybe a year one release for them. It was one of the biggest releases. I think maybe they ended year one with this one, this banger of a release. And we've talked about this earlier. I think maybe Ali brought it up earlier on how much this slip alone is going for. And I also have the poster of this as well, which I think is another one that's pretty valuable. It's a great movie, guys. It is Day of the Dead. Awesome edition. Again, the artwork is killer. This edition is killer. But this will be released again, probably in 4K, probably from Scream Factory. So again, unless you're a completist or you don't have it, I would recommend, yes, you need Day of the Dead in your collection for sure in some format. But I do believe Day of the Dead is one that we will see again, in my opinion. I don't know what the difference is on why Dawn of the Dead has such a tough time getting released, and Day seems to be okay. But, I hope it doesn't turn into a Dawn where it gets very hard to come by. Well, kind of is right now, but I think we're going to get another one of these, so not to pay the big money for that. Yeah, everybody likes Day of the Dead, and yeah, I know the slipcover goes for big money, and like I said earlier today, sometimes I fight with myself, and I'm like, it's a piece of paper, just sell it all off for a couple $100 and buy yourself something else, right? It's tough, man. It's tough having that collector's mindset, that collector's mentality. We talk about it all the time. Yeah, JS. So you didn't get the Day of the Dead because you had the window box release. So I did too. It was in the white old school, like the original Arrow releases. I think it was like a Region B release. I had it. It was such a great edition. But when I bought this one, I sold it off because that was going for a lot of money at the time. So I basically made my money back and more when I sold that hour release. But that's a great release, man. So for sure. Yeah, Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead is a great one. In my opinion, I'm more of a Dawn guy. But I know a lot of people are more Day, and both great films for sure. All right, here's some good ones now. Well, not that that wasn't a good one, but these are some that everybody wanted to see. Sleepaway Camp. Now you're gonna say, you can still get Sleepaway Camp. You can still get Sleepaway Camp. But you can't get Sleepaway Camp 2. And you can't get Sleepaway Camp 3 with the slips. So these are the big ones. These are some heavy hitters here. Between Slumber Party Massacre and this trilogy with the slips, these are some of the big wants. And I mean, just look how good that looks together. Now, I love all three of those movies. I love them more than Slumber Party Massacre movies. I think these are definitely ones that people should want. I do own these movies quite a bit. I own 2 box sets from Anchor Bay, and I own these 3 here on Blu-ray. I don't know the status of these movies. Do I think they're going to come out again? Probably. But again, I don't know the status of them, and maybe 2 and 3 have issues, and maybe it will never get released again. I don't know. I know part 1 will probably get released, probably in a 4K. Part 2 and 3, I don't know. But I do know, and I think to myself, should I just sell these off now for big money? But like I said, I hate this blue strip up here, but the artwork, I mean, these look fantastic together. It's hard for me to break it up, So they just look so good together. I have the posters, all 3 of the posters. I have the first poster signed by Felissa. I wish I could get part 2 signed, but we know that's never going to happen. But I mean, they just look so good together in poster format. The artwork looks so good together in Blu-ray format. And I know that was another big one that people really, really want. And I would say, listen, I wouldn't spend the big money, but at the same time, I think they're worth having. Let me know what you guys think of that. So Greg says basically this right here, this is $300 straight up. And I know. Obviously, if I was on hard times, I would. But and again, it's one of those things, as soon as this hits 4K again, these are going to diminish in value for now. But at the same time, we've talked about this before. It seems like every 20 to 30 years, things resurge. So even though these might devalue if something new comes out, in the long game, it might increase in value again. So right now they're hot. Right now would be a perfect time to kind of dump and get paid before they go down in value. They're only going to go down, I think, unless, the 4Ks are not even close in the works for years and years. And this is the highest format you can get on these. But I say these additions together look awesome. I would keep these before I kept my Slumber Party Massacre 2 and 3. Yeah, so you got JS has all the sleepaways. Yeah, it's a great 3 set. I wish they would have made this a box set, in my opinion. They kind of released 1 and then 2 and 3 came after, but I would have liked a box set with that. Vanderhoff says he threw out his slipcases. Like I said, I'm not a crazy slipcase guy. But yeah, you must be kicking yourself in the ass for that one. That's I talk to my brother about this all the time. We all threw out our Nintendo boxes, right? What idiots were we? You go online and you try to find a Nintendo game in a regular cardboard box in good condition. It's big money. I'm searching for one right now, a complete, and it's a couple $100. And I just want it more or less for nostalgia and display purposes than anything else. And the reason it's so expensive is who kept the boxes back then? Even when they made carrying cases, they were just for the little cartridges. So, shame on us as little kids, chucking all that stuff, because now they're worth so much because they were not readily available anymore. Oh, wow, Matt. So, Matt, what's up, man? Welcome. He said that he sold his sleepaway camps because he was on some hard times at one point, but he only got $60. It was a little bit before they went out of print. Yeah, that's tough, man. Wow. So, Greg, a little over a year ago, he was at the archive and passed on part 2 for $14 and no slip. Yeah, keep your eye on that stuff, man. I was actually just at the archive last week, bud. So that's cool, man. You must be in Northeaster. I grabbed a lot of stuff there, man. It did some damage. Great store, but that's another store where you can kind of find things that are out of print. But I've come to realize after being there, they know what they have now. So you're not going to, it's not like an FYE or you're going to go in there and be like, oh, wow, a used DVD for 15, $12 and it's out of print. They know what they got over there. Yeah, Travis, no one kept Nintendo boxes, and that's why it's so hard to get them now, a complete edition, because we never had them. We never kept them. Sega Genesis had it right when they made the boxes like the plastic where they look nice displayed. Like that's where they did it right. All right, let's move on. Here's another big hitter. I think this is a year 2. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Great movie. This is another one that the slipcase is worth a lot. The movie's worth a lot. And I've contemplated a lot about getting rid of this one. Because I do own the Arrow, which let me grab it here. I do own this, which is a real cool edition. I mean, it's a better edition than this Scream one. But so I have contemplating with selling this one off, but I'll probably keep it. It's a great edition. Slips nice. I've got the poster too, which I think is pretty valuable as well. Again, if anybody's out there, big poster guys, Scream Factory poster completists, let me know. I might be willing to part with some. I've sold a lot. I've sold a lot of them off. A lot of the ones I still have are ones I really, really like. But if anybody's looking for them, I might part ways with some. Just because of space. Like, I've got so much stuff. Yeah, so that's John. So yeah, that's what's tough, man. It's like you don't think that these things are going to go out of print as quick as they do, and when you already have a title on Blu-ray, you're not so apt to jump at a new release. Like, I had that Blu-ray as well, but I just love Texas too, so I jumped on it. But see, hopefully with this video and stuff like that, we learn, like, if there's something we really want, like, we have to pull the trigger, because a lot of these things come out and they're gone. Especially now with slipcovers, these companies are only doing them for a limited time. I mean, you go to Best Buy on release day, and there's a lot of Screen Factory titles there that have no slips, and you were there on release day. So they're being very picky with where these slips are going. So if there's something you really want, jump on it early, and I would say go right to the site and get it. Just because you're guaranteed more or less to get a slip that way. Oh, Brendan in the house. What's up, man? You want to talk about out of print stuff, man. You love it. You're missing out on all this money. Look at this. This is $300 right here. 3 bones. Yeah, so Shout Factory titles are in a lot of their stuff. Yeah, I have some stuff in tubes now too with the posters. Back in the day, most of the ones I have were like folded ones, the way they used to do it back then. Wow. All right, so Matt jumped in, and I didn't talk about this. I have it back there. Dark Half. He says Dark Half is going. How about Monkey Shines? Those two came out at the same time. See my cool Monkey Shines poster signed by Romero back there. Yeah, I love Monkey Shines. So Dark Half and Monkey Shines came out at the exact same time. Are they both out of print and rare, or just Dark Half? But both are good movies. And Pumpkinhead 2, I have that back there as well. I didn't take it out. That's worth something. Haven't watched that one in forever. All right, so Brendan has all the sleepaway stuff. Cool, man. All right. Yeah, Monkey Shines is expensive too. Cool. And the reason I say that is because I love Monkey Shines and I feel like it gets no love at all. When I get this sign, where am I? When I get that sign by Romero, he was shocked when I came up with it. He's like, "Oh, Monkey Shines," like because he doesn't sign a lot of that. I think Savini signed it too. Let me see. Yeah, I got Savini on there too. So Savini's on there as well. Pumpkinhead 2. Yeah, I have it back there. Didn't realize that was one of those out of print ones, but yeah, cool. The wet one. All right, so I'm almost done this little stack I got here. Here's another one. Great movie, Exorcist 3 with Slip. That's a great one. That's right on par with The Exorcist. I'm gonna say Exorcist is still better, but it's a great sequel. I'm not sure exactly how valuable that is. I saw that it was out of print. I don't know if it's just the slip or what, but yeah, man. So it's funny because so what I did was I usually have certain posters back here, but I set up some posters that are all Scream Factory titles. And yeah, I saw I think Christian Hanna and Justin Ryan just got a Shocker poster. Where's mine? Right there. So yeah, so it's getting some love lately. That is a signed poster. And it is an original one sheet rolled. So it's not even folded. And I have it signed by Mitch Pileggi. What do we got over here? Mid-Level Media, what's up, man? Yeah, I saw that you subbed today. Thank you so much. I returned the favor and subbed back. I haven't had a chance to check out any of your vids yet, but it looks like we're pretty much on the same page with what we're doing. So that's cool. That's cool. Always down to do some collabs too, if anybody's got some cool topics they want to talk about. Pop's Movie Dungeon, what is up, man? Thanks for popping in. I'm just trying to get to all these comments. I want to make sure I say what's up to everybody. Is that an original Night of the Creeps? No, Greg, it's not an original. Actually, that's the only one on the wall that's not original. Now, I could be wrong with the Night of the Creeps. It's definitely not original, but it's signed by pretty much the whole cast on that. So I got that signed by pretty much the whole cast at Monster Mania years and years ago. They did like a reunion. So they're all on that. Same with People Under the Stairs. That's an original rolled one sheet, and it's signed by, I think, 3 or 4 cast members on that. I got that signed down in Atlantic City a couple of years back. Yeah, so these posters behind me are 27 by 40. So when it comes to original one sheets, I like the 27 by 40. So like, for instance, Shocker, Monkey Shines, People on the Stairs, they all came out when they already maneuvered to 27 by 40 and not 27 by 41. So a lot of times I'll buy the original one sheets on a 27 by 40 of a movie I really like. And then I do have a lot of one sheets of 27 by 41, which I have some hung over there because I just have those frames. But these ones back here, it's either something original that came out during that changeover. If it was an older movie like Back to the Future, that the one sheet is 27 by 41, then it's a reprint because those posters back here are 27 by 40s. So I want to make sure that they all match. It's crazy, I know. But yeah, I would love to do a poster video. It's just very hard to like hold it or walk around and not have it glare. So I'm kind of trying to figure out how to do that because I have a lot of posters, both originals and reprints, and a lot of signed stuff too. Let me get back into these questions because I've been kind of rambling. Matt, Deadly Eyes. I talked about that earlier. Greg, yep. Oh, it is not a one sheet. Yep, we talked about that. Scream Factory or someone would put a Child's Play 2 and 3 with special features, the collector's edition treatment. Yeah, Child's Play is going to get another box set for sure. Probably a 4K box. Mid-Level Media, he knows Pops. What's up, guys? We got more comments coming through. Andre, what is up? Children of the Night 91 never had a DVD or Blu-ray release. I think it did have a DVD release. I I don't know if that is the same Children of the Night I'm thinking of. I don't know if it had a Blu-ray release. I do not think. The Arrow Killer Clowns Blue is out of print now. Do I have that? My Arrow stuff's over here. Yes, I do. It's in purple. Wow, okay. The damn Deadpit boys have an original Night of the Creeps. Probably. They actually are one of the people who got me to start diving into posters, man. I tell them all the time. One of my favorite videos was the Call Ya Oot poster video. So that's an old school one. Type in Deadpit Radio poster collection. Great stuff. Just completed my collector's editions with slips. Not a cheap endeavor. Pops. No, it is not. I have a lot. I have probably 75%. I am probably missing some of their newer ones. But yeah, it's especially if you're starting now, it's definitely not cheap. Psycho Cop, yes. Willie's, hell yes. Love Willie's. Hope that gets a release. I do too. It's on Tubi, I think, on now. So when things pop on Tubi, like in HD, like a part of me thinks that they're coming in some format. Box set. Mike says, when's Elm Street box set coming? I still think it's coming. I still think it's coming very soon. Nice, Pops. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. It's very hard to complete. Make sure to go and check out all this video. I've been on for almost an hour and a half. I talk about a lot of stuff, and I talk about if people are completists, if they're looking for anything, I might be able to help them. Yeah, so J7 Flesher says those Deadpit poster videos, some of the reasons that I started collecting, man, those were great videos back then. Yeah, Lepke. The Willies, it's another one of those like gateway horrors where it's cheesy, but it's effective. It's an anthology. I remember watching it as a kid on Halloween. My neighbor and I rented it, and we were kind of freaked out by it, but we were really young. We were probably like 12. Oh, all right, Andre, I see. So it was a different Children of the Night. Okay. All right, so speaking of Night of the Creeps, that's actually my next one, and I'm not sure what the deal with this one is. I think maybe this slip is worth a lot. I have the other slip too, so if anybody's missing a Night of the Creeps slip, I have the other one, like the cover art one that looks like this. I have that one that I'm willing to sell if anybody really needs it. But yeah, so Night of the Creeps, guys. This is one of those movies that it took forever to get a release, not on just Blu-ray, but on DVD as well. I had a bootleg of this movie for years, and then all of a sudden it just started coming out. Like I think I have like 2 DVDs and 3 DVDs, and I have this Blu-ray. Like so, it's available either on DVD or here. But it's a great movie. It's one I'd love to talk a little bit more about. It's one of those ones you're not sure why it's not more popular than it is. I mean, it has a niche fan base, but it's not one of the heavy hitters that we hear about all the time. But Night of the Creeps is a great movie. Let me see what we got here. Lepke talks about the Paperboy. I have the Paperboy. I don't think it has a Blu-ray release, does it? I think I have the VHS tape and maybe a DVD of it. But I remember seeing that on TV for the first time as a kid. And I just remember the beginning, him riding his bike, and we thought it was funny when he was talking about ice cream or something. He said a la mode. My brother and I always thought that was kind of funny. I don't know why. Hold on. There's a lot of stuff coming through. I appreciate you guys hanging with me right now and keeping this thing lively. It's just been hard for me to catch up. Matt has a tornado warning in Alabama. Well, I hope all stays well, man. Goonies referencing the Willies, yeah, because you had Mikey in there. JS says The Thing, Carrie, Return of the Living Dead, and 2 others had exclusive variant slips. Yes, I may have them or I may not. I sold a couple slips, I think, at one point, but I may have a couple left. I think I might have the Child's Play one, and I know I have the Night of the Creeps. Okay, so Paperboy is only on VHS. I do know I own that at some aspect. I will be doing a VHS video, actually. I'm not sure if I should do it live. Let me know if you like these live videos. I'm either going to do it live or taped or recorded, and it's basically going through a box of all the VHS tapes that I still have left. I have, I don't know, quite a few, but I mean, I used to have hundreds, and I remember selling them back in the day for like dirt cheap because I needed space when I was living at my parents' house way back in the day when I was really getting a lot of DVDs. And what I kept was everything important from my childhood. So the tapes that I was watching a lot as a kid, and at the time, any horror movies that were not available on DVD, I kept those VHS tapes. So it'd be interesting digging into this box and finding out exactly what I have. But if you guys like this kind of live interaction type show, let me know, and I'll do that with the VHS box. And if not, I'll just record it and post it. Oh, man, Nightlife with Scott Grimes. Reformed Schoolgirls, I think that's coming out soon on Blu-ray. Nightlife, we talk about that on a show I do with Piz about upgrading movies that need upgrades. Yeah, man, Greg. Here's the thing, guys. Everything kind of works in spurts. So at the time when I got rid of my VHS tapes, and I'm going to talk about this more when I do that video, but you could not give those away. You could go to Blockbuster and Hollywood Video and buy like VHS tapes for $1, which I did. And then when it was coming time to me to get rid of mine because I needed the space at my parents' house for my DVDs, I was like, oh, I'm just going to part way with everything I have on DVD. And I sold like probably 200 tapes for like, I don't know, $40 or something like that. And I can still remember having a garbage bag full of them, garbage bags, and giving them some guy in a parking lot I met on like Craigslist or something. And that's like one of the decisions I really regret because I had some really cool VHSs in there. Not even that I needed them to watch, but just the aesthetic of them, like the artwork that's been different. Like I had that Texas Chainsaw in the last house that had that real cool artwork. And I had a Frankenhooker that talked. And, you know, I look back on it now and I'm like, man, if I was going to get rid of these, I should have just waited because the prices went up and then they went down again. Now they're kind of back on the rise. So same thing with DVDs, in my opinion. Like right now, you can't get crap if you try to sell your DVDs. So be very mindful of which ones you're selling off. If you can tote them and store them away, I would recommend it because I think just like anything else, they might start spiking a little bit. The Monster Squad is selling for $6,200. I have a Monster Squad VHS, I think, right here. Yeah, Travis, it's hard. It's hard to sell, man. Sometimes it's smart, and sometimes it's not. But again, some of the stuff we're talking about here is you know, big money. So, you know, you're in a good spot if you're selling now. All right, I've got these last two over here. It's not best for last. Actually, what the heck? I'll have to get one more because I do need one more. All right. I'm not a huge fan of these movies, to be quite honest. I do know they have a fan base. The first one's okay. First one's decent. Don't care for part 2. Didn't watch part 3. Don't care what Victor Salva did in the sense that that's the reason I don't like the movie. I just don't care for him. I mean, again, I'm very old school when it comes to my horror. So to me, like Jeepers Creepers, like first one was all right. It was pretty good. Second one, you know, it's not really my cup of tea. I know it gets a lot of love though. I did buy them because again, I like when things match. So the fact that these two look the way they did with the artwork, I felt like it would look good together on the shelf and I could just toss, like those are 2 DVDs that I tossed. They weren't worth me keeping. I have those, you know, it's not DVD of Jeepers Creepers isn't going to be a big money DVD. I don't think so. It's fine, but I know a lot of people like it. So what are you guys' thoughts on Jeepers Creepers? Matt, thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm also going to have another video in the works about tips and tricks of collecting and how to kind of create a good collection and set up a movie room and all this stuff. It was a long time, man. It took a while. I've been collecting for probably 20 years. And it just takes the right time and, you know, the right setup. I have a lot of stuff, but I like things to be clean and slick as much as I can without it looking cluttered and messy. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I do have a lot of stuff here, but I do my best to try to keep it very organized and set up a certain way. So, Stone Gasman, what is up, man? Let me see what he says here. Stone's always got good stuff. Personal crimes aside, when I realized Victor Salva ripped off an entire case from Unsolved Mysteries, look up Dennis Dupont. He's just an asshole. Heck, and we'll never see them again. Interesting. I didn't know any of this. This would be something for us to look up. Definitely. Stone, how are you, buddy? If you guys haven't checked out Stone Gasman, check him out too. Yeah, Stuntman Mark, I feel you, dude. My thoughts exactly. I mean, there's parts in part one where I'm like, cool. This is pretty freaky. This is cool. It's different. Part two, meh. Cool question here. Let me see. Do you have all your stuff in one room? No. So luckily enough, this house has some space. I do not have everything in one room. Everything kind of has its place. I will say, since starting this YouTube channel, I've been buying a lot. Back in the day, I was buying a lot to try to build this collection. Then it got to a point where I was working a lot and other things were going on. And, I just had a kid 2 years ago. So, my collecting kind of slowed down a little bit. I was always getting a lot of the things I really wanted, but I didn't think I needed everything. And plus, having such a large movie collection, I feel like I didn't need everything anymore, where you'd go to stores and sit there for hours trying to grab anything you've never heard of, hoping you'd find some gems. And nowadays, it's like I'll go to a DVD store, and if it doesn't jump out at me and I don't own it, I'm not sitting there looking for it anymore. But anyway, yeah, so I have actually most of my collection in a totally different room. I call it my library because it's just got toys. It's got walls of DVDs. It's got Blu-rays. It's got autographs. It's a totally different room than where I am now. So yeah, luckily I have the space now to make it work that way, but it's getting harder now. So I'm definitely always looking to kind of part ways with some stuff, like a lot of posters that I just know will never hit the walls. I have in like a binder, and I could part ways with those just to make some room and to get some extra money. So yeah, it's tough, man, because as soon as I like try to slim out something I'm collecting, something else comes in. So, let me see what we got going on over here. All right. Stone's chatting about the Jeepers Creepers with Flesha. I'm going to get one more. I can't believe I missed it. It's one everybody's been talking about. Hold on. I don't know why I don't have it. Hold on one second. Boom. This is one everybody wants to see. I can't believe this one passed me by. I thought it was in this pile. Return of Living Dead. That's a big one. I have part 2 as well. I believe I sold the purple slip, and I believe this is the only one I have left. But I do have both purple and green Scream Factory posters for sale on eBay right now. So it's this one and the purple one. I'm selling them in a lot. Mint condition. They're on eBay now. But yeah, Return of the Living Dead, guys. Great, great movie. I'm glad I got this edition. I prefer this original artwork to anything. So to me, that's the way to go. That artwork right there is what I remember as a kid walking into a movie video store and being like, what is this? Super cool artwork. I have that one sheet as well. Not an original one sheet. I actually have that poster. It's a reprint, but of that image, because that was such a big image to me growing up. But yeah, I love Return of the Living Dead. Happy to have this edition. I know a lot of people are really after that edition, especially with the slip. And I like that part 1 and 2. Like I said, they look very good together with the slips. They match really well, and I'm very big on the aesthetic. And 1 and 2 to me, even though part 3 is really good, those two just really mesh together like one perfect, sequel. So Travis says, yeah, it's Return is his all-time favorite. Yeah, I can see that. It's understandable. It's a great movie, man. They do comedy well. They do scares well. It's great stuff. Great characters. I love it. I'm trying to think what I wanted to say about Return of the Dead. Oh, so what I want to say is, unless you're a completist and you need this, either wait or search out different Blu-rays. Dude, they're out there. I had a Steelbook. I might still have it on Blu-ray. I don't know. I had a Steelbook. I maybe sold it, or I still have it. A Blu-ray one. I've got the DVD. I don't have the VHS anymore. But this will come out again. This is not the last of Return of the Living Dead. So unless you need this to be a completist, I would say wait. Either find another Blu-ray, which I'm sure is out there. I know there's a Steelbook, like I said. Or just wait, because we're going to get a 4K of Return of the Living Dead. I know we are. But yeah, guys, let me know if you guys have questions. Is there anything I didn't talk about? Maybe I missed something. Let me know. There were a couple that you guys mentioned, like Pumpkinhead 2, that I didn't bring to the table. Let me see. What NES game in the box are you looking for? I was gonna say I don't want to mention it because then I don't want people going online and cranking the prices up. But it's Maniac Mansion, actually. Maniac Mansion, which was one of my favorite games growing up, and it's one I do not own currently anymore. I do own, believe it or not, which is in a whole video for another day, is the LucasArts Maniac Mansion computer game, which was super cool that I still own it. It's missing, I think, like the 3D glasses. That is it. Otherwise, it's complete. And I looked it up one day online, and it's going for like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So it's a pretty cool piece that I do have for that movie. But I would love to get the NES tape in good condition and kind of box it up nice and maybe put it in like a glass case on my wall, because I love that movie. The only real complete NES game I still have with box is Friday the 13th, because that was another big one for me as a kid. JS, you ever think of getting sleeves for those slips? Man, yes, I have. I've seen a lot of these like hard plastic things that people are getting to put their slipcover Blu-rays in. I love them. Love them, love them, love them. I would love it. I'm thinking about it. Biggest issue is that shelf back there is my Scream Shout Factory Blu-ray shelf, and I already have zero space left. So I'm considering taking my Shout Selects and like moving them somewhere else because I don't have any more room there. So I'm thinking, oh man, if I got those nice slips, that's only going to take up more space that I don't have. And that's kind of the trouble right now, is that I'm running into an issue for space again, which wasn't an issue until I started this YouTube channel, and now it's become an issue again. So I've really been toting up some doubles and stuff on DVD, putting them away, creating some space. So yes, I think those are fantastic. I'm not sure how much they cost, but I wouldn't mind putting my Screams and Vinegar Syndromes and stuff like that in those protective case. Even aesthetically, it looks fantastic. Let me see who I'm missing. Justin Rhine, my boy. Yes, Return is a great Scream Factory release. If you guys don't know Ryan 1988, go check his channel out. He's got some great stuff. Him and I have collabed on his channel and on mine, so definitely go check him out. Yeah, JS with the sleeves. It's something I've thought about space is the biggest reason for it. Let me see. Greg, just think the summer '85 Return of the Living Dead, and then, yeah, man, that was probably amazing. Somebody said something about Life Force. I think it was Andre. Let me find it. Life Force. I do have Life Force. Life Force. It's a Scream Factory release. I do have it. It's in this case over here. I didn't bring it out, but if you want to see me showcase it, look at year 2, I think, in my videos. Scream Factory year 2 I did with Wes and Uncle Bill from Deadpit. We talk about every release year 2. We also have every release in year 1 we've talked about. Go check those videos out if you want to see every single release in year 1 and 2. I own every release from those 2 years. Year 3, I'm not sure if I own every release from year 3. I haven't looked into it yet, but we will be posting that or doing a live video in September. So make sure you guys put notifications on under my video, subscribe. So when that comes out, you guys can come in and we can talk more Scream Factory. And year 3 is a big one. There's a lot of stuff they're planning for this one because there was some hiccups on year 3. Stuntman Mark, yes. I think Return of the Living Dead 1 and 2 are such great sequels. Like they just mesh together so well. I love part 3. I just think that because of the characters in 1 and 2, it just makes for a better sequel. They work better together, but part 3 is a great one as well. Which I have on Vestron. Flesher, too bad. Maniac Mansion, I wish you had it. Just catching up with the comments. Wait a minute. Oh, all right. Stone, I thought you said Eyes of Laura Mars. I was gonna say they didn't release that. Okay, Eyes of a Stranger. Did I buy that one? I talked about this in my last Horde Up video. There's like 3 movies that just released that I get confused. It's Eyes of a Stranger, He Knows You're Alone, and there's one more. I don't know which one I didn't get. There's one I think I haven't bought yet. I'll check it out though. Life of Moody Hoarder. Sorry guys, yeah, I'm missing people. You guys are just popping through here. Okay, Vinegar Syndrome sells of 2 LPs. Okay. My eBay Lepke is my eBay is G. Hold on, it is. Let me just check again. Shoot. My eBay is. God, I should know this. G Star 000 is my eBay account. Shows how much I really pay attention, huh? I've had eBay a long time. G Star with 2 R's 000. Dead Zone. Yeah, man. I haven't watched my Dead Zone yet, but I did get it from Scream. 5 commentaries. Wow. All right. The Hand. I did not buy The Hand. I do own The Hand on DVD, but I did not buy it yet on Blue. She Knows You're Alone. Yes. All right, so guys, this is everything. I've been on here for 1 hour and 45 minutes. That's why I wanted to start this at 8 because I wasn't sure how long I was going to go. Usually we start streaming around 9. But man, it's been like a real good crowd in here. I appreciate it. If you guys aren't subscribed to me and you liked this, I've kept a pretty good amount of people this whole time. So besides everybody who's been chatting away, which I super appreciate, there have been people checking this out. So if you are not subscribed, please sub to my channel. Like I said, I'm relatively newer to the scene, and I appreciate you guys' support. A lot of familiar faces coming through saying what's up. I love it. You can follow me on Instagram at Born to Be Rad, where I post a lot of stuff, pictures or pickups that I get, stuff that I don't necessarily always showcase here on the channel. I do have a couple other videos coming up. I do some compilations as well with Deadpit on a regular basis. We've got some things in the works. Like I said, we've also got that Scream Factory Year 3 coming in September, so you definitely want to check that one out. I know we're putting a lot into that one. Also, too, if you want to check out Region Free, I do a nice commercial on there every week as well, and that's where you can find Mrs. Stone Gassman as well. But yeah, and anybody in the chat, you guys, you can check out their channels. Some I know really well, some I've just started checking out. So scroll through, follow each other. Let's keep this community strong. You guys are awesome. Slithis Blue, does it count as a shout even though it was a code red? Yeah, I was gonna say it's not. It's a code red, but why would you say shout, Jim? Let me know what you meant by that. Halloween 2 and 3 steelbooks are awesome, Andre. I just sold mine off. And also, too, guys, like I said, if anybody's looking for anything, I'll tell you some things I have from Scream Factory that I'm willing to part with. Some posters, possibly. These are the only 2 steelbooks I have left. They're sealed. I would consider getting rid of them. I sold the rest of mine all off. All my lithographs have been sold. I do have a Slumber Party Massacre pillowcase that was an exclusive that came with the original collection from Shout Factory. I have that available. And I have a whole thing of sealed Scream Factory limited edition magnets. So all you Scream Factory lovers out there, if there's anything that you need to complete a collection, again, I'm not a completist anymore, but I have a lot of this stuff that I'm willing to part with, like I said, for space purposes. Since starting this channel, I've been grabbing a lot more stuff. So definitely appreciate it. Thank you, man. Greg, thank you for always chiming in and popping on. I appreciate that. Lepke, thank you, man. I appreciate that as well. Welcome. Andre, welcome, man. Welcome to the community here. Thank you, Mike. Night of the Demons or Funhouse, Greg? I have both, but I don't know. They're Nathan prints. I love both of them. Not sure if I'm going to part with them, but you never know. Thank you, John, as always. I appreciate you chiming in. And anybody who chimed in later that wasn't part of this chat, thank you so much for checking this out. This is Garrett at Born to Be Rad. Until next time, like I always say, stay